Hey guys, thank you to those of you who stopped by yesterday morning, dragged your butts out of bed, some of you, unless you're Derek and you've been up for hours. Just one more day about errors and power. Just want to show you this. If it's confusing to you, it's fine. It can get a little confusing. I just wanted to show you these two normal curves. And just as one other way to think about errors, a type 1 error, which you see down here in blue, is if, oh no, wrong one. Here, I was like, yeah, that's wrong. Here's your type 1 error. If your null hypothesis is true, which is this curve, I'm only looking at this curve. If your null hypothesis is true and you get an unusual sample, you might reject the null hypothesis even though it's true and it falls out here. That's why if we shift around this alpha value, right? If I increase alpha and move this line over this way, it would increase the chance of a type 1 error. Okay? Which is what, everybody is, here we go. Which is why, I don't know what I was saying. So, if you increase alpha, it increases the chance of a type 1 error. But look, if I'm going to increase alpha, I'm going to increase the type 1 error, but I will decrease a type 2 error. Now, a type 2 error is assuming or knowing that the alternative hypothesis is true. So this curve over here is true. Okay? If the alternative is true, there's a chance you would get an unusually small sample in this case, and you would end up with a type 2 error. The problem is we don't know whether we make a type 1 error, a type 2 error. We don't know if we've made the correct conclusion because of this overlap that can happen. So maybe the null hypothesis isn't true, but the curve has been shifted up a little bit. In that case, you could end up with a sample that would fall under the null hypothesis or would fall under the alternative. Okay? The only other thing I want to point out, and then we're going to move on from this, is that this area over here, right? That probability is called your power. And it's a good thing when you correctly reject the null hypothesis and you've identified that the alternative hypothesis is true. That is the power of your test.